4條行走市區嘅鐵路線一直進行緊信號系統嘅更新工程。雖然路軌完善嘅硬件更換咧係進展順利，但係承辦商需要較預期長嘅時間去完成佢哋軟件安全認證嘅工作。公司正係積極研究其他可行方案，包括提升現有嘅系統，又或者減少修改新信號系統嘅軟件，令到新系統可以盡早投入服務。公司會繼續確保現有嘅系統維持良好嘅狀態，以提供安全可靠嘅優質鐵路服務。另外，公司早前亦都公布會分階段為新列車、市區線嘅新列車裝備現有嘅信號系統。首架市區線新列車會喺完成一系列嚴謹測試之後，預計會喺今年裏面投入服務。鐵路本身係一個低碳嘅公共交通，公司一直致力係引入綠化同埋節能減排嘅措施，建立一個可持續發展嘅社區。公司已經向科學基礎目標倡議組織 SBTi 提交咗承諾書，將為我哋香港鐵路同埋物業業務訂立2030年科學基礎嘅減碳目標。我哋亦都計劃喺2050年實現碳中和，推動綠色未來。鐵路發展方面，應特區政府嘅邀請，東涌線延線、屯門南延線、東鐵線嘅古洞站、北環線同埋洪水橋站嘅項目喺前期工作包括詳細規劃同埋設計都已經展開。其中東涌線延線同埋東鐵線古洞站已經刊憲，而屯門南延線嘅鐵路方案亦都已經獲得批准。喺推展項目嘅同時，公司繼續喺合適嘅新鐵路項目採用鐵路加物業發展模式，而所有嘅項目都有待同政府簽訂正式嘅相關協議。同時，我哋都就興建東鐵線科學園白石角站展開咗技術研究。此外，我亦都非常期待未來嘅新鐵路項目發展，並且會繼續同政府保持緊密嘅溝通，配合北部都會區發展策略，協助推動香港嘅長遠發展。物業發展方面，今年上半年港島南岸嘅2個期數、日出康城嘅4個期數，以及我哋作為九鐵公司嘅代理人嘅元朗站同埋錦上路站2個項目，都已經進行咗預售，反應熱烈。此外，百勝角通風樓物業發展項目同埋東涌牽引配電站嘅物業發展項目都已經批出。小蠔灣物業發展亦都展開咗詳細嘅設計同埋前期工作。東涌東站第1期會喺同特區政府簽訂咗項目協議之後展開籌備工作，預計會喺今年進行招標。鐵路加物業綜合發展模式為新鐵路項目嘅建造、維護、設備更新同埋提升提供資金。呢個模式多年嚟讓香港維持喺高水平嘅鐵路服務，同時更加重要嘅係俾港鐵公司以我哋最擅長嘅以公共運輸為導向嘅城市發展，亦即係 Transit-Oriented Development（TOD）， 為香港建設社區，包括咗促進新社區嘅發展同埋活化舊區，為社會經濟發展作出貢獻，提供更多嘅房屋供應。而其中小蠔灣物業發展項目當中，將會有大概一半係會係公營房屋，配合政府嘅房屋政策。港鐵公司喺中國內地同埋國際業務繼續穩步發展。北京地鐵16號線未開嘅段落繼續展開建造工程，全線預計最快喺2022年之後通車。深圳地鐵4號線嘅營運維持穩定。呢條鐵路線自從2010年開始營運以嚟，一直未有調高車費。而由於預計嘅票價調整機制同埋定價嘅程序，或者需要較長嘅時間先至可以實施。另外，低乘客量預計亦都會維持一段嘅時間。因此，我哋為深圳地鐵4號線進行咗減值撥備。喺英國倫敦伊利沙伯線通車之後，運作大致暢順。澳洲方面，雪梨同埋墨爾本嘅鐵路運作都表現平穩，深受乘客歡迎。港鐵公司董事局喺上次年報表明，中期股息約佔全年派發股息嘅1/3。因此喺全面考慮咗公司嘅財務狀況同埋未來嘅資金需求之後，董事局宣布中期普通股股息為每股42港仙。我想強調， 疫情對公司嘅業務仍然帶嚟好多挑戰，而物業發展嘅利潤只係非經常性嘅收益。票務仍然係我哋一個穩定嘅經常性收入來源。票價調整機制嘅檢討將會按計劃今年嘅下半年展開，預計喺2023年上半年完成。公司亦都正係籌備緊檢討機制嘅準備工作。我哋樂意聆聽唔同持份者嘅意見。事實上，公司一直向社會唔同層面嘅乘客群提供各種嘅車費優惠。就算係自2020年新冠疫情開始，鐵路營運虧損已經達到100幾億港元嘅情況之下，仲因為疫情又要為商戶提供免租減租，喺咁惡劣嘅經營環境裏面，我哋仍然堅持喺本年度提供各項嘅車費優惠同埋恆常優惠，達到28億港元。此外，我哋會繼續各個業務落實環境、社會同埋管治 ESG 嘅策略，推動公司長遠同埋可持續嘅發展。Now I want to say a few words in English. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. In the first half of 2022, the corporation continued to stand united with the community in the fight against the pandemic, and we keep Hong Kong and the other cities we serve moving. This year marks the 25th anniversary of the establishment of the Hong Kong SAR. Over the past 25 years, we have expanded our network to cover all 18 districts and commenced the Hong Kong section of high-speed rail to bring greater convenience to our customers. The East Rail Line extended its service to Hong Kong Island in May this year, increasing the connectivity of the railway network. On its first service days, we were thrilled to witness with our passengers this century-old railway crossing the harbour. Internationally, the central operating section of the Elizabeth Line in the UK commenced service in May, providing efficient and quality services to passengers in London. I want to express my gratitude to all colleagues who stood side by side to overcome all the challenges amid the pandemic and achieve these remarkable milestones. The fifth wave of the pandemic posed great challenges to Hong Kong. Despite the challenges, the corporation has endured the difficult times together with the people of Hong Kong. We extended our 3.8% special fare rebate again, and there is no fare increase for 3 consecutive times, including a fare reduction under the established mechanism. We also provided rental reductions or waivers for our affected tenants. In addition, we supported community vaccination and cooperated with government in many of its anti-pandemic efforts. The sustainability of the corporation greatly relies on our diversified business portfolio. We need continuous and stable income to cope with the massive capital requirements for railway construction and operations, as well as maintenance and asset renewal for the railway's decades-long life cycle. The corporation has also introduced green and innovative measures for the new railway projects, aiming to go smart and go beyond with the community. Amid the fifth wave of the pandemic, the domestic service patronage in the first half of this year has decreased by 11.7% as compared to the same period last year. In addition, the cross-boundary services have remained suspended, and the patronage of the Airport Express was far below the pre-pandemic levels. Furthermore, the pandemic has severely affected the recurrent business income from the stations and shopping malls. Despite the severe challenges, our teams have maintained professional services and managed to keep both passenger journeys on time and train service delivery on our heavy rail network at a world-class 99.9%. To maintain our world-class railway services, the corporation continues to invest more than 10 billion Hong Kong dollars every year to maintain and upgrade the existing railway assets. The diversified business portfolio, coupled with the rail plus property development model, plays a vital role in maintaining our financial stability and the long-term sustainable development of the corporation. In the first half of this year, the corporation's recurrent business loss was about 700 million Hong Kong dollars, and the property development profit was 7.8 billion Hong Kong dollars. Our non-recurrent property development income fluctuates with the property development cycle, while fair revenue as well as revenue from station commercial, shopping malls, and office rental businesses provide a stable and recurrent revenue. The EBIT from Hong Kong transport operations was still at a loss of 2.8 billion Hong Kong dollars. The corporation is committed to providing customer-centric service and improving work efficiency with the use of technology. We have signed MOU with local universities and other institutions to develop innovative railway technology applications that will contribute to building a smart city. In addition, the corporation has started the metaverse journey to further interact with our customers. In Hong Kong, we continue to carry out signaling system upgrades on our 4 urban railway lines. The replacement of the trackside signaling hardware has been progressing, while the software safety assurance processes carried out by our contractor are taking longer than expected. The corporation now maintains normal operations of the existing system and is exploring other alternatives, including upgrading the existing signaling system or reducing the modifications required for the new signaling software. In addition, the new trains for the urban lines are being equipped with the existing signaling system in phases, and the first new train is expected to be put into service within this year. Rail transport is a low-carbon mode of transport. We are committed to integrating green features and energy efficiency measures to build a sustainable community. The corporation will set 2030 science-based carbon reduction targets for its railway and property businesses in Hong Kong. We also aim to achieve carbon neutrality by 2050. We are now moving ahead with our 5 new railway projects and supporting the planning under the Northern Metropolis Development Strategy, which will further expand the existing railway network and enhance our connection with other cities in the Greater Bay Area. On the current railway projects, the Tung Chung Line Extension and Kwu Tung Station projects have been gazetted, and the railway scheme for Tuen Mun South Extension has also been authorized. At the same time, we have started a technical study for a new science park, Park Shek Kok Station on the East Rail Line. On property development in the first half of this year, the pre-sales of 2 packages at the south side, 4 packages at Lohas Park, as well as 2 other property developments for which we act as the agent for KCRC, were carried out with an enthusiastic response. In addition, the property development projects for the Park Shing Kok ventilation building site and Tung Chung traction substation site have been awarded. The detailed design and advanced work for the Oyster Bay property development has also commenced. We will start preparation work for the tender for the Tung Chung East Station Package 1 as soon as possible after signing the project agreement with government, which is anticipated this year. The RailPlus property development model provides funds for new railway projects, and more importantly, this allows the corporation to adopt transit-oriented development, TOD, which we excelled at, to build communities for Hong Kong and provide more housing supply. On mainland of China and international business, our mainland China and international business continue to make solid progress. The construction of the remaining sections of Beijing Metro Line 16 continue, and the full line is expected to open after 2022. In Shenzhen Metro Line 4 maintained stable operations. There has been no increase in Shenzhen Line 4's fares since we started operating the line in 2010. As it is anticipated, the mechanism and procedures for fare adjustments will take longer time to implement, and patronage will remain at a lower level for a period of time. An impairment provision has been made in respect of Shenzhen Line 4. Regarding our overseas business, the Elizabeth Line in UK has been operating smoothly since its opening. In Australia, both the Sydney and Melbourne Metro train operations remain stable and welcomed by the customers. The board stated in the last annual report that the interim dividend will represent about 1/3 of the total annual dividends. Accordingly, interim ordinary dividend of 42 cents Hong Kong per share is declared. I want to stress that the pandemic continues to pose many challenges to our businesses. Our property development profit is non-recurrent, and fare revenue is still our major source of stable recurrent revenue. We will review the fare adjustment mechanism in the second half of this year as stipulated in the operating agreement, and it is expected to be concluded in the first half of 2023. Furthermore, we will also continue to implement environmental, social, and governance (ESG) initiatives across all businesses to enable the corporation's long-term and sustainable development. Now I pass to Herbert to report some of our financial highlights.
唔該 Jacob。而家等我介紹一下2022年上半年嘅財務業績。香港及香港以外地區嘅經常性業務虧損分別為2.3億同埋4.5億港元，主要係受到第5波疫情嘅影響，同埋係深圳地鐵4號線相關嘅減值。基本業務嘅利潤呢係71億港元，較去年同期呢係上升78%。主要係由於有3個物業發展嘅項目呢係喺上半年同時入帳，計及投資物業公允價值計量嘅虧損24億港元。2022年上半年股東應佔嘅利潤呢係47億港元。集團嘅財務狀況穩健。截至2022年6月底，集團嘅現金存款及可動用嘅信貸額呢係超過300億港元。淨負債權益嘅比率呢係下降至12.7%。中期股息約佔呢係全年派發總股息嘅1/3，因此董事會呢係宣布派發每股港元4毫2仙嘅中期股息。跟住呢，就同大家講下我哋基本業務嗰個分類嘅利潤。喺香港車務運營 EBIT， 即係扣除利息及稅項前嘅利潤，仍係錄得28億港元嘅虧損，主要係由於本地乘客量受到第5波疫情嘅影響。香港車站商務嘅 EBIT 呢係下跌4.1%，主要由於車站商鋪租金呢因疫情下調。免稅店業務咧仍然係受過境業務停運嘅影響。香港物業租賃及管理業務嘅 EBIT 咧係下跌9.8%，受到紓困措施及租金下調嘅影響。喺香港以外，中國內地及國際業務附屬公司嘅 EBIT 咧係上升77.8%，主要係由於澳洲業務咧係復甦嘅帶動。接住落嚟咧，等我講一下綜合嘅財務狀況。總資產為2923億港元，較去年年底咧係輕微增加2億港元。總負債咧係增加23億港元至1144億港元，主要係由於需要係計提咧2021年末期嘅股息，因此總權益咧係下跌21億港元咧，去到1779億港元。喺現金流方面，從經營活動所得嘅現金淨額咧係38億港元，與物業發展相關嘅現金流入咧係112億港元。扣除資本性開支及其他支出外，用之前現金流入咧淨額係104億港元，計及淨還貸及其他現金咧係增加咗55億港元。跟住財務及借貸比率。集團嘅總借貸咧係下降45億港元咧，係去到393億港元。近期聯儲局多次大幅加息，而喺公司嘅債務結構中咧，有76%咧係定息借貸，可舒緩咧加息嘅影響。平均借貸利率為2.2%，與去年咧係相若。淨負債權益比率咧係下降5.4個百分點咧，係去到12.7%嘅穩健水平。我哋嘅利息保障率咧係19.8倍。至於我哋未來3年嘅資本性開支及投資方面，2022年去到2024年嘅總資本性開支及投資咧，預計為536億港元，平均咧係每年大概需要投入咧係180億港元。其中約70%咧係用於香港鐵路方面，62%咧係用於維修及更新現有嘅香港鐵路列車、信號及電力系統等嘅資本性開支，11%咧係用於香港新鐵路項目前期籌劃及設計嘅投入。餘下嗰30%咧有12%咧係喺中國內地及海外嘅投資，同埋15%咧係用於香港物業業務嘅投入。 我將以下嘅時間咧交翻俾 Jacob 講下我哋未來嘅展望。
唔該晒 Herbert。港鐵公司肩負讓城市前行嘅使命，致力為市民提供安全、可靠、高效嘅鐵路服務，並且積極投資未來。全新嘅東鐵線令到香港嘅鐵路網絡更加四通八達，為未來嘅鐵路發展奠下咗重要嘅基礎。鐵路同埋城市發展一直都係息息相關。展望未來，我哋會投資1000億港元，推動鐵路發展策略2014中嘅新鐵路項目同埋小蠔灣物業嘅發展項目，亦都會配合政府有關北部都會區發展策略。新鐵路項目大部分建基於現有嘅鐵路線嘅延伸。港鐵公司有豐富嘅經驗推展新鐵路項目，會喺所有嘅項目保持一貫嚴謹嘅態度，全力為香港未來發展作出貢獻。公司嘅團隊不斷向前，以提升服務同埋對社會嘅關懷。我哋以再向未來嘅方向，除咗每年投放超過100億港元提升現有鐵路資產同埋設施嘅質素，未來5年公司計劃投放超過10億港元開發智慧營運同埋維修，提升顧客嘅體驗。並且會繼續探索喺中國內地，包括大灣區同埋海外嘅鐵路同埋物業嘅發展機會，並且繼續努力實踐 ESG 目標，促進公司嘅可持續發展。物業發展方面，會因應市場嘅情況，並視乎同政府簽訂相關協議嘅時間表。我哋預計未來12個月左右，會為東涌東站第1期同埋小蠔灣物業發展第1期進行招標。同時，公司亦都正就港島南岸第4期、何文田站第2期同埋日出康城第12期嘅預售進行申請。視乎施工嘅進度，大圍嘅 The Y 維坊商場嘅公允價值計算利潤，或者可以喺今年下半年入帳。The Y 維坊同埋黃竹坑嘅 The South Side 兩個新商場，預計會喺明年開業。最後，我再次衷心感謝我哋嘅團隊一直堅守崗位，讓香港以至我哋服務嘅每一個城市繼續前行。未來港鐵公司會繼續以創新、共融同埋可持續發展嘅理念，聯繫同埋建設社區，同大家一齊再向未來。多謝各位。
唔該晒金博士。而家嚟到答問環節，我哋先會安排喺現場嘅傳媒朋友發問，跟住我哋會讀出直播平台嘅問題。喺前面呢位Now TV。
你好，係 Now TV 嘅。首先想問翻，疫情平穩啦，加翻有呢個新線嘅開通咗之後啦，咁比較翻疫情甚至係社運之前咧，個客流量係恢復到咩水平咧？跟住第二就係車費即係而家都有推出過車票嘅優惠啦，同埋都講過可加可減機制，其實好多年都冇再上調過啦。咁而家見到你哋嘅車務營運都蝕多咗啦，未來會唔會一次過大幅咁加價咧？另外就係政府最近都放寬咗一啲隔離嘅措施啦，咁有講過又講年底有可能甚至係通關嘅，咁預計呢啲對車務嘅幫助會有幾多咧？另外就想問翻啦，早前喺紅磡站有個老翁失救嘅事件啦，有冇最新嘅跟進情況咧？即係好似講過會安裝感應器咧，冇個進度咁樣咧？唔該你，
金博士。
好，或者我先講講我哋個票價調整機制。我哋呢一個機制咧係客觀透明嘅機制。就算我哋嘅鐵路營運咧係錄得大量嘅虧損，我哋仍然咧係會根據機制嚟實行我哋嘅票務嘅調整嘅。喺通關方面咧，當然我哋係歡迎政府放寬呢個防疫嘅要求。咁咧，我哋亦都希望咧客流咧可以有所增加。我哋亦都同時咧係譬如喺我哋嘅商場咧係有優惠啦。我哋亦都係加強咗我哋機場快線嘅服務，同埋機場快線嘅車費咧係有啲特別嘅優惠，可以係支持我哋展覽業同埋旅遊業嘅發展。我哋希望咧喺多個方面咧可以繼續支持香港嘅經濟嘅復甦。至於紅磡嗰個事件咧，實在我哋係對成件事咧係深感惋惜嘅。我想喺呢度咧向事主 嘅家人咧係致以深切嘅慰問。或者我可以請楊總監講一講我哋喺呢個跟進嘅情況。
好啊，正如金總裁講啦，其實我哋對成件事件咧都係感到即係非常之惋惜，同埋咧都喺度向即係事主嘅家人咧致以深切嘅慰問。公司其實非常之重視今次嘅事件啦，所以我哋隨即都已經展開咗一個非常詳細嘅內部調查。咁好希望就當日嘅處理咧，我哋作出檢討。咁而喺我哋睇到嘅結果裏邊咧，亦都顯示到咧。喺當日去我哋協助尋找事主嘅處理同埋跟進啊，同埋溝通方面咧，的確有啲地方咧係可以做得好啲，係有啲不足之處。咁我哋為此咧都感到非常之抱歉嘅。公司咧會非常之嚴肅咁樣去跟進我哋睇到要改善嘅地方啦，同埋一啲改善嘅措施啦。亦都咧我哋會繼續同警方合作，去配合佢哋嘅調查，同埋咧切實咁樣去執行相關嘅結果。當然咧，我哋亦都會繼續同家人保持聯絡，好希望咧能夠為佢哋提供任何嘅協助。
Now TV 繼續。
唔好意思啊，想追問翻就係啱先講到啊，通關咧預計會對車務即係可能有幾多成嘅幫助，或者係有冇個目標咁樣咧？另外就係嗰個客流量同埋車務而家係恢復到咩水平嘅？唔該。
喺4月尾即係社交措施其實改善咗之後咧，我哋睇到都有陸續嘅改善嘅。咁而家其實大概都去翻到去即係第5波疫情之前啦。咁而我哋睇到咧，若果係當然我哋好歡迎或者都好希望可以快啲開關啦。咁我哋相信咧喺開關之後咧即係我哋嘅客流咧係會陸續咁樣去翻嚟嘅。當然亦都需要一啲時間咧，我哋相信即係。兩邊嘅即係或者即係通行嘅乘客咧，都要啲時間咧，慢慢去即係翻嚟以前嗰個水平。
現場仲有冇其他朋友有問題？好，係 TVB 嘅朋友。
你好啊 ，TVB 嘅。首先想問翻呢，其實啱啱都即係展望嗰度都講過呢，嗰個票價調整機制個檢討會按計劃下半年展開啦。咁嚟緊又會檢討嗰個可加可減機制。咁外界就話檢討機制嘅時候呢，即係有啲聲音就話可能要加入啲盈利同埋市民負擔嘅能力呢作為因素。即係其實港鐵作為一個公共事業嘅營運者啦，又要向大股東交代。點樣睇呢個建議呢？覺得嚟緊呢個可加可減機制或者票價調整機制應該要考慮啲乜嘢因素呢？第二個問題咧，就想問翻啲關於鐵路營運嘅，即係其實雖然你哋嗰個準時率好高啦，去到99.9%，咁但係咧，其實東鐵線過海段通車都一段時間啦。系統入面最密2.7分鐘一班車係咪做得到咧？係咪已經去到最盡咧？其他路線啱啱提過會更新嗰個信號系統嘅，嗰個進度係點？可唔可以交代一下咧？最後一個問題咧，就關於一啲鐵路延線項目嘅，嚟緊即係例如屯馬線啊、東涌線啊都飽和啦，再加站嘅話係咪會即係吃不消咧？政府已經換屆，未來同政府去傾一啲新線嘅時候，會唔會可以加快到一啲程序咧？唔該。
多謝呢位嘅問題，都好幾個方面。咁我哋先講我哋嘅票務。我哋嘅票務係我哋一個好重要嘅經常性嘅收入。要支持我哋維持一個安全可靠高效嘅服務。呢個係我哋首要嘅任務。我哋另外咧就係除咗呢啲日常嘅工作一定要做好之外咧，我哋都需要跟住落嚟嚇，要我哋新嘅里程新嘅一頁咧，我哋要投資超過1000億去俾我哋嘅新線，而每年超過100億嘅設備更新等等，呢啲咧都需要投入大量嘅資源，亦都係需要有一個穩健嘅財政咧，先至可以支持得到。咁而當然，我哋喺票價調整機制裏邊嘅檢討咧，我哋會聽所有持份者嘅各位持份者嘅意見，我哋會詳細咁樣考慮各位持份者嘅意見嘅。至於我哋嘅信號系統咧，我哋喺市區線嘅信號系統咧，我哋叫路軌旁嗰啲硬件咧， 嗰個更新更換咧係進展都尚算順利嘅。咁但係因為嗰個軟件嘅安全認證係需要比預期長嘅時間。當然安全認證咧係我哋成個信號系統裏邊一個好重要嘅過程，一定要做好，要保障安全。咁所以佢係要需要更多嘅時間。我哋都係想盡快可以將個新系統投入服務，所以我哋都睇緊有冇其他嘅方法可以加速呢個工作。但係咁雖然係咁，亦都唔影響咧我哋將市區線裏邊新嘅列車投入服務嘅。我哋將會將呢啲新嘅列車咧係裝現有嘅信號系統咧，係希望今年我哋第一列嘅新列車咧，今年之內咧係可以投入服務嘅。至於東涌線嘅容量咧，我哋喺東涌線延線嘅工程裏邊咧，包括咗我哋喺香港站有個掉頭隧道嘅延長。嗰個掉頭隧道嘅延長咧，係會令到我哋掉頭嗰個效率增加，亦都令到咧成條線嘅容量咧係可以增加。呢啲咧係我哋繼續落嚟，就係頭先我提到過千億嘅新線嘅建造咧係所需要做嘅嘢。
至於東鐵線過海方面咧，都想即係回應翻咧。當年自從5月中通車之後咧，其實都非常之受市民歡迎啦。咁我哋睇到好多喺我哋嘅即係意見調查裏邊睇到咧，乘客都對新嗰兩個車站啊，同埋整體嘅東鐵服務咧都非常之滿意。咁嗰個頭先剛才提到嗰個班次咧，而家係喺繁忙時間已經行到2.7分鐘一班㗎啦。咁我哋嗰個客量嚟講咧，喺繁忙時間咧，亦都係即係仍然係有空間嘅，可以咁講下。咁不過當然我哋都好希望乘客能夠即係喺唔同嘅車卡度咧，多啲去分佈喺譬如車尾啊咁樣樣啦，等到可以鬆動啲咁。咁喺即係當我哋會當然係密切咁留意客流啦。如果我哋需要嘅時候，有時都會喺一啲繁忙嘅時間咧，加啲子彈車嘅班次，令到即係可以舒緩某一啲站可能某一啲時段嘅少少嘅即係比較人多嘅時候。
不如明報啊，嗰邊藍色衫嗰位。
係想請教一下咧，就係如果喺香港嘅鐵路同埋即係喺國際或者內地鐵路嗰度都見到仲有個虧損嘅話咧，其實港鐵係咪短期內未來呢2-3年都可能都係比較依靠啲嗰個地產業務嗰個嘅支持咧？咁另外咧都想了解一下咧，譬如喺地產呢邊咧，喺今年嚟講，或者喺餘下嘅時間咧，喺開盤或者喺推出新項目嗰度咧，預計嗰度有幾多單位啦？咁同埋咧會即係會個嘅進度咧，入帳嘅情況咧，會唔會都可以稍為講述一下咧？咁另外一個問題就係深圳線嗰度咧，即係先頭都講可能有個減值嘅情況，預期咧會唔會仲要繼續進一步減值咧？咁樣。
好，唔該晒。或者我先講一講整體嚟講咧，公司嘅財務嘅情況咧係得益於我哋成個多元化嘅業務，令到咧我哋甚至係一個好嚴峻我哋喺抗疫呢段時間咧係咁困難嘅時間咧，我哋仍然可以維持到一個穩健嘅財政。咁但係我哋物業發展嘅收入咧唔係經常性嘅，佢亦都會隨住物業發展唔同嘅時段咧係有所增減。咁所以咧，我哋希望咧喺我哋盡快可以抗疫成功，咁等我哋嘅業務咧，我哋經常性嘅業務咧可以逐漸咧係恢復正常。或者我先請劉總監講一講深圳4號線，然後可能鄧總監講一講大樓嗰啲安排。
好，唔該金總裁啊。咁咧就其實呢一個深圳4號線咧，自從2010年我哋開始營運到今天咧，其實都係個整體表現係好好嘅，市民都好歡迎嘅。咁我哋喺過去最近都不斷咁提醒個市場咧，我哋呢條線咧喺自從2010年開始營運咧，到今天咧係都未能夠咧係調整嗰個票價嘅。咁雖然呢個深圳市政府咧，亦都出台咗嗰個深圳市城市軌道交通票價定價辦法，亦都喺2021年1月咧係生效咗嘅。咁但係咧，我哋預計咧，即係因為其他嘅種種嘅因素咧，佢嗰個制定嘅機制啊，同埋嗰個定價嘅程序咧，係可能都仲有一段嘅時間咧，係先至可以落實嘅。咁再加埋疫情之下個客量咧， 亦都係下降嘅。咁而呢一樣嘢，我哋預計亦都可能會維持一段時間啦。咁所以喺一個審慎之下咧，我哋係做咗一個咁樣嘅減值嘅撥備嘅。咁咧就喺未來咧，我哋都仍然都係要密切留意呢一個嘅情況嘅。咁尤其是包括咗呢一個定價嘅辦法啊等等嘅落實嘅時間表，同埋嗰個客流量嘅改變等等咧。咁我哋咧就會亦都會定時咧係會檢討呢一個安排嘅。
好啊，即係我講講頭先呢位朋友問關於物業嗰方面啦。咁喺未來呢一段時候咧，喺新盤嗰方面咧，咁當然要好睇我哋攞到預售樓花嗰個申請嘅安排啦。咁但係計劃當中咧，我哋都有5個項目係可能可以出嚟市場預售嘅，有3個港鐵嘅項目啦，同埋有2個咧係我哋作為西鐵代理人嘅項目。呢5個項目加埋咧，全部都有成4500多個單位。咁至於招標嗰方面啦，咁其實大家睇到上個月咧，我哋最近啱啱就東涌嗰個牽引動力大樓呢個項目咧，我哋就成功招咗標啦。咁喺未來咧，當同政府嘅協議達成之後，項目協議達成之後咧，我哋都希望喺東涌東嘅第1期同埋小蠔灣嘅第1期都推出項目。咁未來咧，呢2個項目加埋咧有2600個單位，連同東涌牽引樓嗰個牽引大樓嗰個項目咧，加埋都有4200多個單位嘅。
好，唔該。跟住係呢位後邊呢位 LTHK 係咪？
A few questions from RTHK. The construction for the Dongcheng and Tunma line extensions and Kudong station are expected to begin next year. So with the expected rise in local interest rates and inflation, how will it affect the construction costs and what would the company do to control the budget? Second question, how do you expect the rising interest rate to affect the tendering of your upcoming property projects, noting the earlier withdrawal and retendering of the Dongcheng substation project? And as for the signaling system, what are the progress and difficulties of replacing the current system? Thank you.
Okay. I think I'll start with the rising interest rate overall. I think the situation is impacting the world economy. So Hong Kong is no exception. So it will, in due course, impact on the overall economy. Now we are hoping that with the relaxation of the anti-pandemic measures, we will see some recovery of the local economy as well as our passenger flow. We are doing our parts by introducing, for example, special deals in our shopping malls and increasing Airport Express service as well as fare concessions and so on to encourage and to support the recovery of the economy amid the higher or rising interest rate situation. In terms of the cost impact, perhaps I could just ask Herbert to add one point or two about that.
Just on interest rate, one more point is that 76% of the company's borrowings are denominated in fixed rates. And as a result, that this fixed rate debt would not be affected by the interest rate hikes. Obviously, I think inflation is a global concern, particularly in US and UK. In terms of the impact on our operations, obviously the operating expenses will be affected as a result of inflation. I think that to a certain extent, in our under the current fare adjustment mechanism, there is the consumer price index as well as the wage index as components. So to a certain extent, the cost increase would be mitigated.
And just on the construction contracts, our contracts will last for several years. So hopefully, the time span will actually even out the impact of the interest rates. As for the signaling system replacement, the hardware, trackside hardware replacement work has been going on smoothly. However, the safety assurance process for our new signaling software is taking much longer than expected. Now, of course, the safety assurance process is highly important to ensure safe operations of our railway. So we are looking at possible alternatives to try to accelerate this process in a safe manner. However, this is not going to affect our introduction of the new Urban Lines trains into service. So our first new Urban Line train equipped with the existing signaling system will go into service within this year.
Okay, thank you for the question. I believe the property tenders is actually affected by a basket of reasons, not just by one factor. Now, obviously, interest rate rise is a bad news for property development. As we know, it's a very large upfront capital investment. But however, when considering the location of our various projects, the technical difficulties of various projects, and also there is still a demand out there, one would hope that we are bringing the whole thing back to a fairly neutral position. And as you know, MTR projects, we are invariably always situated atop a rail station, so that enhance the attractiveness for prospective buyers.
好，由於時間嘅關係咧，我哋睇下呢度仲有冇問題，問到一題，跟住我哋去網上問題。前邊有線電視呢位同事啊。
你好，我想問翻東鐵露天月台嗰個幕門係幾時會安裝好？同埋東鐵線嘅過海路段嘅客量變化，其實分流咗幾多個紅隧巴士客㗎？
月台自動月台閘門咧我哋之前都同大家報告過。而家第一就係因為啲月台係舊咧，我哋先要整固嗰啲月台，而整固嘅工程咧亦都基本上係完成咗。而家我哋下一步嘅工作咧就係優化我哋啲車喺唔同月台嘅停泊嘅位置。當我哋做好呢一個優化嘅過程之後咧，我哋就可以開始正式安裝嘅工作。咁我哋正式安裝工作咧已經喺度準備當中。咁大家都知道咧，我哋每日只有2個鐘頭收咗車嘅時間咧，先至可以做呢個安裝工程。咁我哋會首先咧喺2個月台係做呢個安裝嘅工程。我相信咧，當我哋完成咗呢2個月台之後咧，我哋就會有足夠嘅經驗咧，可以知道一個比較詳細、比較準確嘅時間表。至於分流方面，或者我想請阿楊總監講一講。
好啊，咁正如頭先講咧，咁東鐵線過海之後咧，都我哋睇到好多調查乘客嘅意見咧，都覺得個服務都好滿意嘅。咁喺嗰個乘客出行方面，我哋都睇到有啲轉變啦，有一啲嘅車站即係人多咗啦，有啲就少咗啦咁亦都係起到一啲分流作用。例如喺繁忙時間，即係放工嘅時候咧，喺荃灣線過海嘅時候咧，都即係大概係少咗20%人度啦咁。而譬如紅磡站咧，都睇到人流嘅減少嘅，咁相信有啲可能係即係會去直接搭東鐵過海咁所以整體我諗成個網絡而言，東鐵線過海之後咧，就有輕微嘅上升嘅咁但係有好多出行嘅轉變啦，可以話
咁由於時間關係，我哋而家去一去網上嘅問題啦。問題係《東方日報》Jacob Wong 嘅公司嘅 EBIT 同埋 EBITDA 咧都見到虧損，會否有計劃進行股本融資，或者係加價以提升現金流咧？
多謝問題。集團嘅財務狀況咧係非常之穩健嘅。咁我哋個淨負債同埋權益嘅比率咧，即係所謂嘅 gearing 咧，係12.7%。咁而現金同埋我哋嘅信貸額咧加埋咧都係超過300億港元。所以喺咁嘅環境下咧，係冇需要係進行呢個係股本融資。
Herbert， 今日嘅中期業績嘅公佈嘅時間咧已經差唔多啦，好多謝大家今日咧參加同埋收睇我哋嘅業績公佈，多謝大家。